Hi, Dave.
Hey, sorry that took a second.
Hey, hi, Deb. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Hi, Dave. Um, I'm Lia Grainger, and I'm here with FabCollab Live. We're an initiative that started at the beginning of the pandemic to give world music artists a different platform to share their work. And we're doing a series right now. We're talking with different women artists from around the world about their practice and what makes them tick and that kind of thing. So today we have an amazing dancer joining us. Her name is Deborah La Caramelita Dawson. Hi, Deb.
Hello, Leah.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. I'm here in Toronto. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny and it's snowy. Where are you joining us from?
I am in Bordeaux. It is nighttime, as you can see, but
You're in
it
France.
was a beautiful day.
You're joining us from France today?
Yeah, Bordeaux, France.
So maybe you can tell me a little bit about your artistic practice. What is it exactly that you do as an artist?
Yeah, so I'm a flamenco dancer. I, lately, I've been mixing some other different styles, but I've definitely considered myself a flamenco dancer first and foremost.
And can you just tell me a little bit? I know we're both from Vancouver. We both are in a band together called Cairo. That's sort of like a contemporary flamenco. It's a musical group that mixes like Turkish, Spanish. What other influences do we have? I can
Got
never
Middle Eastern
Middle
grooves,
Eastern. Yeah.
um, Balkan. Yeah, just it's a cool mix. It's a cool fusion mix.
Yeah, so we've been working together for a long time, and we're both from Vancouver. So can you just tell me a little bit about your journey, how you made it from Vancouver and ended up in Bordeaux as a flamenco dancer? It's kind of
Yeah,
a
for sure.
crazy story.
Yeah, so I started flamenco in Vancouver. I actually saw my first show when I was in high school. So that was a while ago now. And I started classes with Flamenco Rosario at Central Flamenco, and it was great. She brought in tons of guest dancers and yeah, just really exposed us to some fabulous artists through the years. And from there, I moved to Sevilla, and
How old were you?
I was 18. It was right after high school.
And what was that move like for you?
So exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think
Was
I was
it
really
hard?
naive.
Was it scary at
It was.
all?
It wasn't actually that hard. I think I was just really like naive going into it, and so everything was just like fabulous and great. And yeah, no, parts of it were definitely lonely. I remember um, like learning the language was tricky. There were definitely some hard parts, but I look upon that time in Sevilla with like really fond memories, and learning from fabulous different teachers. And that's also when I met my now husband, Alexandre. We met in
Who
Sevilla,
is the
and
singer?
so
Who's the singer in our band?
he's a
You should
singer in our
mention.
band as well. Yeah, we like to keep the family close and
Yeah.
tight. Um, but we met in Sevilla my first year there. Ended up staying in Sevilla, and we moved to Jerez for a bit and sort of back and forth, before deciding to move to France. So first to Tours, which is in central the Loire Valley area in France, and then now to Bordeaux. We've been here for 5 years now.
And what is the flamenco world like in France? Like, it's so close to Spain. Like, is there a huge scene there?
There's a pretty good big scene here. Yeah, the level's really high. It's probably outside of Spain, one of the countries with like one of the highest levels. So really fabulous dancers, really great teachers that come here. Um, peñas, different schools that really sort of support the flamenco arts. There's a really important festival called Mont de Marsan, Arte Flamenco, that's close to Bordeaux, just south from here. And that's a festival that's been going on for over 30 years, I think.
Hmm.
And so the flamenco scene here is quite um, it's big. It's a good supportive scene as well, I think.
So how are you able to survive as a dancer? I know myself as a flamenco dancer, it's like I've always had to kind of it's always like a lot of work to
It
to
is
make
definitely
it
a lot
work.
of work.
So
Yeah,
can
it's
you just
definitely a
tell
lot of
me
work.
kind of, I know that you've really been able to do it. Can you tell me about like how you make that happen and maybe some of the challenges there?
Yeah. Um, I think I got really lucky meeting Ale as well because he was working with a band called Les Nochitan when we first got together, and I ended up joining the band as a dancer. So I definitely did flamenco with them, but I also did different styles, and I toured with them for I think 7 years, maybe 7 or 8 years. Um, and that was sort of my base of what I was working on. And then we always did traditional flamenco on the side with different artists, always with Ale. So I think having both was a really good way to perform and live as an artist. I wasn't just doing puro flamenco because I think that's definitely harder to do.
Mhm.
And I also really enjoyed having this sort of festival style party band to
So
work with.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
So like what are some of the challenges that you face along the way?
Um, Different challenges. I think the one sticking out right now, just because of the times we're in, is staying motivated. Um, just without many shows or any shows at all, just sort of staying motivated, wanting to go back into the studio, keep studying, keep sort of trying to get better. And I think that's the main issue right now. I'm pretty sure a lot of artists are probably feeling the same way. Just not being able to gig is a big part of our challenge right now. Um, and then before, probably financial, just trying to work and balance that with wanting to study in Spain, and that, um, yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's always
expensive.
like all about the
No,
hustle. You gotta have a lot of hustle, but I know that you do.
yeah.
Can you tell me like a little bit like as an artist that doesn't come from Spain
Mhm.
and with like an interesting background, how have you sort of made it the art form your own over the years? Has that sort of been something that happened right away, or was it like a slow development? Because I know you really do have your own style and you've really been exploring that. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that happened over the years. I definitely consider the style that I'm drawn to more is definitely more of a traditional style. Um, and I think it takes some time. Like you with flamenco, you really have a chance to express yourself and create your own style, but you need a good foundation for that. So I think my style or what's coming out more recently is because I've been able to study and have had several years, which is nothing. Like this takes a lifetime, but I think what's coming out now is because of a good foundation. And what's coming out now is definitely I'm going more into my Indian roots, into my Indian background to sort of explore that and explore why I'm connected to flamenco, why the music, the movements, like sort of just um, exploring why I'm doing this in a way. And I
Mhm.
think um, I've really found that my Indian background has a lot to do with it.
Can you tell me, so you've been, I know for the last several years, you've been working on and touring your show Naritia.
Mhm.
Can you tell me like a little bit about how you developed that show and what it is?
Yeah, so for sure. So Nirita, it's sort of been on my mind for quite a few years, but we really started and got going about 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. Sat down as a group with Guillermo Guillen, who's a fabulous guitarist based in New York
Mhm.
now. Alex Carrasco, who's in Madrid, Lara Wong, who's in Madrid, who you and I also work with, and Alejandro, the singer. And we really started getting getting together and really preparing this show about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And what it is just an exploration of flamenco dance and it's how it's connected to Indian dance, but more on a personal level, like sort of rather than it being a fusion show and having these two styles, which I think is done quite a bit, is you have a flamenco dancer and you'll have maybe a Katak dancer, and they'll sort of go back and forth, and you'll see both styles and different musicians. Whereas I'm the only dancer in the show, in Neritia, and yeah, I'm just sort of trying to move back and forth between them and also mixing them, but
Mhm.
doing it on a really personal level and sort of talking about my journey as a flamenco dancer and finding her roots.
We have Kunal from India saying hello.
Ah, cool. Hi, Kunal.
Do you think you could maybe like show me some of the sort of like some examples of like the way you would do something in flamenco and the way you might do it in an Indian style of
Yeah.
dance? If it's some
So
sort of like simple example.
again, I definitely don't consider myself Indian classical dancer. Like that takes years and years and lifetimes. But what I have found sort of studying for and putting together the show is that the hand movements in Indian classical dance are really specific and they really tell a story.
Mhm.
So you'll have sort of different movements like this, which will express different things, and they can be animals, they can be deities, they can be feelings. Whereas in flamenco, you're just sort of moving your hand, you're using your floreo movements, and that's also a really personal way. Like every dancer will have a different way of doing it, but it doesn't specifically mean anything.
Mhm.
So that was interesting to sort of go back and forth between these really specific Indian classical dance movements and styles, and then have flamenco, which usually feels really specific and more reserved, but in this case felt a little more free flowing.
Was there like, did you do anything in Indian time signatures? Like musically, were there like different,
No, we were
maybe different
using,
flamenco?
yeah, we were using for rhythms, we were using different flamenco rhythms. So we did alegrias, we did a tangos, and we did sigarias. And then the boys also, some of the musical pieces we used tanguillos, and I'm forgetting one, tangos, I think again, or yeah. But we didn't end up using different Indian time signatures.
Are you going to be, so like, do you have plans to continue with that show?
Definitely have plans. Let's see
Mhm.
what the world lets us do. Um, we were lucky enough to tour last year at Montmarsan at the festival here in France, and to a sold out crowd in Vancouver at the Flamenco Festival last year. But for what's coming up, I don't really know. It's sort of everything's just on hold right now, even if
Mhm.
we do, we'd all love to tour the show again. So
How
it
are
just,
things in France right now?
pardon?
How are things in France right now?
France is sort of shut down again.
Mhm.
So culturally, nothing's open. You're not allowed to perform or do anything. Even movie theaters are closed. So it's a sad
Well,
time
it's a
to be an
moment
artist.
to go back inside and to
Yeah,
think about, yeah, to brew on future projects, I guess. I know that every artist is kind of like trying to figure out how to be creative in these times.
definitely. Yeah, just trying to
You
stay
can do it.
motivated and positive. And yeah.
Well, I want to really thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. It's really awesome to see some other artists and some faces during this time when we're in Toronto in full lockdown, so I'm not really leaving the house.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's wonderful to share a little bit of your art,
Thank
even if
you,
if
Leah.
we're just
It was
talking about it.
lovely
Deb's
chatting
talking,
with you.
and Deb, sorry, Tamar's just asking. Deb's talking to us from Bordeaux, from her
Righto.
home in
Yeah.
Bordeaux, her beautiful home that she renovated herself. Well, thanks so much, Deborah. I can't wait to see you again, either in Canada or France or Spain, whatever the future allows. And yeah, where can people see your work?
So you can check out our Instagram is La Caramelita Flamenco. That's I haven't been very active during this year just because we haven't had shows, and that's usually when I post stuff. But there's photos. There should be a new video coming up. We're probably going to do that in the next little while. So stay posted on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, hope to see you all very soon in a live public space. Be
Totally.
nice.
Awesome. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks, Leah. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, love.